Yo, what's up guys? The Insane Game Freak here to bring you kind of a happy birthday message, I guess is the best way to put it. This is a video to celebrate well, it's a celebration and kind of a remembrance of a classic video game character whose 20th birthday is today. Well, technically it's tomorrow because I'm not recording because I've worked tomorrow and I can't actually physically record the video and edit the video in the course of a day on top of the work shit. So I'm recording it a day earlier, and yeah, I should definitely stop talking right now. So anyways, this is pretty much Sonic's 20th anniversary. It's today. His birthday is June 23rd. And the reason why this is a big deal for me is because me personally, if you were to ask me am I a bigger Sonic or Mario fan, I'm a bigger Sonic fan. Nothing against Mario, I'm just saying I always preferred Sonic. There was never a point in time where I was like, Mario beats the shit out of Sonic. No, I've always loved Sonic. It's just the way it works. And I think out of all the video game characters, he's the one I relate the closest to, purely because he's the same age as me. We were created, we were both put into existence in the same year. Because if anyone didn't know, I turned 20 a week ago. I turned 20 on June 16th. Sonic turns 20. It's kind of funny because you'd be like, I'm older than Sonic. That's not really an accomplishment since there's so many people older than Sonic. But still, I just find he's the one. I believe his gaming franchise is probably one of the first ones I got into. I got into Mario, I got into Pokemon, I got into Zelda, I got into, and Sonic was one of those. Sonic was like in the top 5. Honestly, ironically, Sonic is probably my favorite or second favorite gaming franchise next to Pokemon. Hence, Pokemon just turned 15 earlier this year, and Sonic turns 20. So, I guess this video is really to just say happy birthday and to kind of just talk about Sonic as a franchise in terms of games, animes, and overall the character itself. Now, I guess I'll talk about the way I got into Sonic the Hedgehog and how my experiences are through his games. Originally, I started playing him on the Genesis, but I never finished any of the Genesis games. And the reason why is because through the years I was playing the games, my mother sold the Genesis, so I never got to finish any of the games. I never actually played Sonic 1 because Sonic 1 came out when I was born, and a month, like a few day old baby. Because I mean, his birthday was the 23rd. Which means a week before that I was born. So obviously I didn't play Sonic 1. I played Sonic 2 and I played some of Sonic 3. And I've also played some of his bullshit games. I played Sonic 3D Blast. I remember playing Sonic Drift. And I remember playing what is the other game? Sonic 3D Blast was like one of the main ones. I played the hell out of Sonic 2 and 3D Blast, which now that I think about it, 3D Blast was a shit game, but back then it didn't bug me. I don't know why. I think it bugged me just because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Because if you play Sonic 2 and then go to Sonic 3D Blast, you're like, what the fuck am I playing? Oh, and I also played a little bit of Sonic 3. Not Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I just only played a little bit of Sonic 3. Which was essentially just Sonic and Tails. And you couldn't get to some of the pathways because some of the pathways were reserved for Knuckles. And you know that whole thing with Sonic 3 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles and shit. But essentially, that's how my gaming history with him started. I didn't really get into Sonic's games as much as I wanted to, is when my father sent me a Dreamcast. And my first thought was, I'm gonna go get me a Sonic game. So by proxy, I went and got myself a Sonic game, and I played Sonic Adventure 1. And I think the only thing about Sonic Adventure 1 I never got to finish Sonic's story, ironically. Out of everyone's story, I beat everyone else's story, but Sonic's story is the one I didn't get to finish. And the reason why is because there's a portion, it's when you fight the Egg Viper near the end of Sonic's story, which means obviously I haven't played the Chaos section. My game was fucked up, so every time I would try to do the homing attack, I would fall through his tail, and I never understood why that happened. And when I was younger, I used to rage quit like a motherfucker over that. Like, literally, that was probably one of the first rage quits I ever had. Also, besides the rage quitting I did for Sonic 2 with Chemical Plant Zone, which is something else I need to bring up. I didn't beat any of the old games back then, originally, because of, the lack of time with the Genesis, and some of the, I swear to God, Sonic 1 is a bitch. Like, going back to, recently, I think I mentioned on vlogs, recently I went back to go play Sonic 1. I did not realize how bad the lack of a spin dash will hurt you. I mean, considering more of my recent experiences with Sonic games have been for the new gen, going back and playing the old gen is kind of hard. I will be proud to say that I was replaying Sonic 2 also, and finally Chemical Plant Zone is not even an issue with me anymore. My new issue is Metropolis Zone, Act 3. I hate that fucking act, and I understand why some call me Johnny hates the fucking slicers. The fucking hell. But yeah, I didn't have the greatest, beating of games experience with Sonic first games, but I say after Sonic Adventure 2, I just went in after that, because I finished Sonic Adventure 2 like a motherfucker, and from then on, I kind of got really addicted to the games. Like, I played all the Sonic Advance games, I played the Sonic Battle game, I played the Sonic Rush games. Me personally, I think the first one is better than the second one, but that's just me. Obviously, you've seen if you've watched me on my gaming channel, you know I've played Secret Rings, Black Knight, Unleashed, Colors, and I love most of those games. I mean, honestly, I like Black Knight, even though Black Knight to me is probably the worst out of the newer ones. I never played 06 because apparently I had a good sense of judgment, and I didn't own the Xbox 360 or PS3 back then. In retrospect, I was kind of happy about that, because I bought the Wii first, which means I got all the Storybook series games first. I played some Sonic Heroes. Sonic Heroes is alright. I mean, honestly, the character himself was cool. I mean, fuck, I used to watch the Sad AM, and I watched a little bit of Underground. I was more of a Sad AM fan, honestly, for Sonic in terms of cartoons and shit. I have watched Sonic X, the 4Kids version. I never watched the Japanese version. I've seen clips of the Japanese version. I know the Japanese version is better. I will say, it was still enjoyable as shit. I've been kind of a huge Sonic fan for a while. The only thing I kind of regret in terms of Sonic is I never ever got I have never got any type of Sonic merchandise. That's the only thing I kind of hated that I never did when I was younger. And I think it's because all my money went to Pokemon back then. Like, I was serious. So, and nothing against you, Sonic, I'm just saying, but happy birthday, dude. I just never got to get any Sonic merchandise. I think I ended up just buying your games. In terms of characters, I mean, I guess I might as well mention this. Who's my favorite Sonic character? Sonic and Knuckles are like my two favorites. And since I didn't play that much of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I didn't know about Knuckles' character that much. But I fell in love with Knuckles after the first and second game, first and second Sonic Adventure games. Now, me personally, I know Knuckles get a lot of shit because people don't like the fact that Knuckles has he became like the black character for no reason. I think it works for his style and his attitude. Me personally, I'm probably one of the few people who actually does like Knuckles' soundtrack in the second game. In Sonic Adventure 2, I love his fucking soundtrack. Me and my friend Kenny went out of our way to learn certain song lyrics. Like, I know the entirety of Pumpkin Hill, and I know the entirety of Quantum Mine, which are my two favorite tracks in that game. I mean, I like Sonic's tracks too. I'm just saying Knuckles' tracks were always a favorite. I always had a slight bias with Sonic and himself. Now, me personally, if you want to talk to me which are my favorite characters and which ones I don't like in the series, my favorites are as follows: Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Eggman, Robotnik, whatever you want to call him. Chaos, I think, was a good villain. Shadow, Rouge, even though Rouge, for whatever reason, just her introduction seems like they can't. Like, the fact that you have a whore-ish character like Rouge kind of bugged me. Even though as a character she's not bad, it's just her design is really offsetting. I'm probably the only person who doesn't mind Cream. I don't mind Big either, because they're barely used. I think Big and Cream seem more like best friends for Amy, because Amy doesn't really hang that much with Sonic for obvious reasons. When I did go back and look at the older games, like Sonic CD, and saw what she originally looked like, wow. I've seen the OVA, but I haven't seen like Amy, original look Amy. and that's very disturbing. Like, I'm so glad they changed her design because she actually looks better now than what she originally did. I like Blaze. Silver can go die. Oh yeah, I love E102 Gamma, even though his whole continuity confuses the shit out of me. Like, cause he dies in Sonic Adventure 1, but it's like you kill him off in Sonic Adventure 1, and then you have like these little bullshit clones of him around in Sonic Adventure 2. I think it's Sonic Adventure 2 that he shows up again, and then you bring him back in Sonic Adventure, and then in Sonic Heroes. And then he just stays alive. And it's like, well, why did you have him die at the end of Sonic Adventure 1 if you were just going to bring him back? I never understood that. But then again, I didn't get into that much of the story for Sonic Heroes, so it might be explained, but I doubt it. And a lot of people wonder why I like Cream. I like Cream because Sonic Rush gave Cream a use. And I like rabbits. That's the other reason. I'm not really a hype fan of her mom. I don't know why why is it that she's the only character at least in the video game continuity that has a mom? Because you never see her mom. You never see any of the other characters' mom. But for whatever reason, we see Cream's mom. No idea why that is. And I don't even understand. I didn't read the comics, unfortunately. I've never really read the Sonic comics. So I don't know that much about the history of those characters, of certain characters. But Blaze is like probably the newest character I don't mind because I don't care for Silver. To me, Silver is a character whose first game he appeared in and his first original just throwing wasn't cool to me. Like Silver did not stick with me on any level. He's a fucking time traveling hedgehog trying to save the world. It's kind of like Sonic, but in a really shitty way. So that's why Shadow to me was always cool, but they intentionally trying to make Shadow cool. Even though me personally, I prefer fucking Sonic to Shadow. I think a lot of people like Shadow because Shadow is like the emo-ness of Sonic. Like all the dark emo fans of Sonic prefer Shadow. Me personally, I like Sonic over Shadow. I'm trying to think. I believe I don't give a fuck about any of the damn Riders games or some of the bullshit characters like, oh god, what's his name? I forget. It's the Crocodile, the Bee, and Chaotix. That's what it is because that old game Knuckles Chaotix. That shit. Not a huge fan of those characters, especially Vector, because Vector seems like a joke, especially with that famous little quote he has going around. Frying the computer room! Sonic has like a lot of random ass quotes in it just because. Like the whole joke with Sonic 06 where there's the game is a joke in itself. There's like a joke in the final story of Sonic 06 because out of shits and giggles I did watch like all the story parts of Sonic 06 without actually playing the game. So I know the entire plot. But I went back and looked at some gameplay videos, and there's a portion where, after the whole Sonic death thing, and they're all going around collecting Chaos Emeralds, and it splits up into like these multiple sections. There's a point, every time a character gets a Chaos Emerald in that little section, they all say, Sonic, I'm coming. And I'm just like... and it's the most ridiculous thing. Me personally, I thought that was funny. But I mean, it's 20 years. Like, I'm actually kind of shocked. It's weird. It seems, but then again, Sonic never seemed like he was over 20 anyway. So I guess he is quote unquote acting his age. And I'm hoping Sonic Generations shows how much of a character he is. Period. Like the thing about Sonic I always thought was cooler than Mario is Sonic acted more realistic. Mario is unrealistic in every way, and so was fucking Sonic. But the one thing about Sonic I will say, Sonic had a personality. Sonic had an attitude. Sonic had the fuck you attitude for Eggman. And even though Sonic's original mindset was supposed to be a freedom fighter, and I do think his little original backstories are funny. Like, if anyone's looked up the history of Sonic, how his shoes are based on Michael Jackson, which is why you hear Michael Jackson helped produce some of the music in Sonic 30 Knuckles, I believe. And his girlfriend was supposed to be Madonna. That was even funnier. Mario's backstory doesn't seem as funny to me, but I just found that hilarious. And the character was just cool. And honestly, I will say Sonic has probably one of the best soundtracks, period. I mean, fuck, I listen to almost every I listen to music from almost every generation of Sonic. I listen to shit like Green Hill, Emerald Coast, obviously Pumpkin Hill and Aquatic Mind, City Escape, Sonic Colors. I listen to a lot of tracks. I listen to a lot of Sonic tracks. Just period. I like a lot of Sonic's music. Sonic to me is one of those characters that I really enjoyed, even though he hasn't had the best set of games. And I believe his fan base is probably the most fucked up for numerous reasons, involving furries and baby furs and fucking homosexual bullshit, and like pretty much take the issues of any other fan base and then apply them to Sonic with a whole bunch of other ridiculous, like the recolors and the wars we have about the dumb shit, like the retro fans of Sonic, because Sonic has this change of design. Me personally, I like his newer design. It makes more sense than him looking like a chibi, even though he's a fucking he's an anthropomorphic hedgehog who runs really fast, but he has a belly. That just doesn't make sense to me. So I like his newer outfit. The whole fucking Green Eyes argument, the Speed Boosters argument, we got a lot of things in this fucking fan base that we argue about that really shouldn't mean shit. But the one thing I believe we can all agree on is that as a character, we love that motherfucker. We love that attitude. We like him. Regardless of how far you like him and what way you like him, you do like the character Sonic the motherfucking Hedgehog. And for 20 years, we got to enjoy his games regardless of how biased or non-biased you are. You got to enjoy some Sonic games in some way, shape, or form. And hopefully, Sonic Generations, I believe the demo is coming out today as you're watching the video. So, now as I'm recording this beforehand, so you won't know my impressions on that until later. But I will I'll probably put it on my vlog channel. I'll link my vlog channel in an annotation somewhere on the screen. But, just happy fucking birthday, Sonic. Like, thank you for your games. Thank you for the games, the anime, the music, whatever. And also, you, sir, made Crush 40 even a better band, because a lot of people got introduced to Crush 40 through Sonic, if anyone didn't realize it, because Crush 40 does a lot of Sonic songs, and I am so fucking happy. Ironically, the one song they did, that Zebrahead did, I actually prefer Zebrahead's version too, which is the His World mix, the His World song. I actually prefer the Zebrahead version, but Crush 40, Jesus Christ, you helped making his games awesome with that soundtrack. So, god damn it. But, you know what? It's through all the shit, you've been through for the last 20 years. Thank you. Shit. I enjoyed the hell out of your games. I'm looking forward to Sonic Generations this fucking holiday season. Hopefully next year, I don't know, maybe Sega will try to put, I don't know, other characters in the game besides just you. Jesus. But until then, I am going to anticipate your future games. Happy birthday. What else? There's really nothing else to say. Just, that's my experience with Sonic. That's my happy birthday wishes to Sonic. If you tell me which one do you prefer, I just might start a war, but still. Were you more of a Sonic fan or a Mario fan? If you were more of a Sonic fan, tell me your experience with Sonic the Hedgehog. Video responses are all welcome for this motherfucker. Just give your experience with Sonic the Hedgehog in any way, shape, or form, gaming, anime, whatever. Honestly, the one last thing I will mention is that Sonic games kind of got me into rock music. Along with anime, AMVs and shit, but Sonic games helped. Because I realized I ended up liking rock music at a younger age than I originally thought I did. So that's always awesome. But, anyways, as I said, comments, video responses, tell me your experiences with Sonic. Life's a game. Play to win. Gotta go fast. Gotta catch you later. Peace. Happy birthday, Sonic.